Or 3.
5.
Introduce yourself. Who are you?
I'm
What do you do?
I'm Grace. I am a night shift pediatric ICU nurse over at CHOA.
How'd you get into nursing?
I picked nursing because, well, originally I wanted to go to med school. The human body is fascinating to me. It's a perfect organism that can have so many problems, and the medical field is constantly evolving. So it was, ever since I was little, I knew I wanted to go in the medical field. I wanted to go to med school, and then I decided I didn't want to be in school until I was like 50 years old. So I chose nursing and just fell in love with the ICU atmosphere because I am constantly on my feet, constantly thinking. It's a very evolving field, so you're constantly having to do like continuous education. And I love being challenged every single day at my job. And then I specifically chose peds because kids are resilient and they're incredible people.
That was my next question. Look at you. What sports do you play or have you played growing up?
Growing up, I played tennis pretty competitively my whole life. And then in high school, I got just burnt out on the sport. It's funny how that happens after playing 6 to 7 days a week for 3 hours a day, and your entire world evolves around the one sport. I got very burnt out when I was like 17 years old.
What age did you start?
When I was 4.
And so from 4 to 17, tennis, and then what was after that?
After that, I quit. I said sayonara to tennis for almost 3 years. Tried to pick it back up, was still getting an icky taste in my mouth, and just officially like didn't touch a racket for 3 years. And in the interim, I started running a lot, like a classic college girl. Started running a lot, and I started doing like HIIT workouts. I became a class girly and did like HIIT, Pilates, weightlifting.
All the things.
All the things. And that's been what I've been consistently partaking in, that and a side of running I picked up tennis again about a year ago.
I don't think I knew that. Or maybe I did.
What?
But that you picked up tennis again.
I picked it up last May.
Okay.
After a really bad breakup, and I had a lot of time on my hands.
Okay. And then you just had an injury, so
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
I went skiing. It was actually a lot of fun. I was starting to fall in love with it, but I like skiing a lot more than skiing likes me. I was out in Colorado, and I just took like a tiny little fall and tore my MCL with severe strain. Here I am, 4 months later, still rehabbing an MCL.
Talk to me about like what this injury has meant to you, what you've learned from it, all of those things.
What have I learned from it? I've learned a lot. I think at first this injury was extremely frustrating because it put me on my butt. I was like an extremely active person before, and I think I took for granted being able to do whatever I want whenever I wanted. Like if someone said, let's go on a 10-mile hike, an aggressive 10-mile hike, I'd be like, yeah, let's do it. Like no problem. I could just pick up one day and do it. Or if someone said, let's go play tennis for 3-4 hours at an aggressive pace and running around the court for 3-4 hours, no problems. I would just do it. And I think I took that a lot for granted. And then when I got this injury and I couldn't even walk for 6 weeks, I couldn't straighten my leg, I was in crutches for a couple days, like it really made me realize how much I appreciated being able to be able-bodied and just physically in shape for the lifestyle that I wanted to have. I couldn't do my job for 10 weeks. I had to take short-term disability, and that was really hard. So I found a lot of new hobbies, took up chess.
You did. I remember the day you texted me and you were like,
I'm taking up chess.
I got a game. And I was like, okay.
Okay, we're going through it. That's okay.
I'm just glad, look, I'm glad you found something.
Chess was a very short hobby.
Are you done?
Short-lived hobby. I haven't had time because now I've been like back to like working out a little bit and like back at work. But it was a very short-lived hobby. But but with all that said, like I've learned so much from this new mindset that I've had. I've realized that one, recovery is so important in order to maintain that lifestyle that I wanted to have. Like it was only honestly a matter of time before this happened. Like I've been having knee problems since I was in high school, even probably before that. And I just like growing up in our age, like we weren't taught recovery growing up. It was just like you play your sport, you condition, and like they tell you to go home and stretch, but like did any of us go home and stretch? No. They actually told you to go home and do more conditioning. Right. And that was actually the expectation.
Yeah.
And so because of that, like recovery wasn't something I knew how to do, and it wasn't something that I realized that I had to do. It wasn't a matter like if I got injured, it was a matter of when. And so I think like even though it was a tiny little fall on the ski, while I was skiing, it would just, like you said, like a couple weeks ago, like my knee it just stretched a little too far and it just snapped and it said, I'm done. And so I've learned like how important recovery is. You've taught me like how to recover, why we recover, when we recover. And it's like a lifestyle maintenance piece that is incorporated as part of like your fitness plan. It's not an option. And then additionally, like I have become a lot more comfortable in a gym setting. I was thinking about that. I didn't tell you that.
You did?
Yesterday, I was like, I think this is really good exposure therapy. I was like literally in my gym and I walked in and I was so anxious. There was like 4 people there, but I went in because I had a plan and I was very comfortable doing the exercises that you had scheduled for me and like knowing what weights to pick up and like finding my corner to do it. And it was like, it's been really good exposure therapy.
Oh,
there was even a trainer in there like training somebody and I was like, oh, that's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. I do that. So it was, yeah.
I love that. I remember the day you walked in here and you were like,
I was like, Tiffany, where am I? Where have you brought me? I was so nervous that first day. I was like, there are so many people here and everyone is so fit. I was like, where have I been transformed?
But you have worked out your whole life.
Yeah,
what was it?
But with instruction.
Okay.
Right? Like when you condition as a kid and like when you're in classes, like you're all doing the same thing and you're in a group setting and someone is like literally telling you what to do, when to do it. And I think that's why I've always gravitated as an adult towards the class setting because I like to walk in and I like just like not having to think about the workout because it's a lot of brain power and it's not something that I've ever wanted to commit energy to. But also like that's what I'm comfortable with because that's what I grew up doing.
So how has this experience been for you as far as like me programming the workouts for you?
It's been awesome. Like it's been so easy. The app that you use is so easy, just like giving me workouts. And I like during like our sessions too, like we talk about what each week is going to look like for that next week, like how many times I need to work out, what I can do on my own. And as like I'm progressing towards back to the level that I want to get to, like it's a very collaborative effort to get to where I want to be. And like you've done such a good job over the last 4 months of seeing, like really listening and hearing about like where I want to get back to. And I don't even know if you've ever rehabbed somebody in tennis, but you are like really learning and you have learned so much and you are like listening to me when I like talk about the sport and like really trying to like think about how that translates into what kind of training that we have to do in order to get there. And I've like really appreciated that because it feels like we're a team to get to where I want to be. And like also the support you've given me over the last 4 months is wild. I think I have come in, I don't even think you realize how many times I've come in almost on the verge of tears.
No.
I don't think you,
no.
And then you're like, it's gonna be okay. We're okay. Like, look at how far you've come and we're gonna get you there. Like, it's gonna be okay.
You're gonna make me cry for real.
It's gonna be okay. You're gonna get to where you wanna be. Like, it's still a long road, but I know that this is what you wanna do. and like you want to get back to playing tennis every day and you want the life that you want back, but like we still have many months to go, but like we can do it.
Yeah.
And that's been honestly like the reason my mental stability has stayed like above water, because like my entire life changed. Like my life, I went to work, I walked for 12 hours at work for 3 days a week. I went on walks before work. On my days off, I would work out, run, and play tennis Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And all of a sudden, one day, I couldn't do any of those things. Like that's why I had to pick up new hobbies. And you were one of the biggest reasons, like over the last 4 months, that you're like, your life has changed, but it's gonna be okay. And I've appreciated you for that.
Thank you.
No, thank you. I literally would not be, I would not be doing half the things that I just did today. Like I think if I went to anybody else, it would, because I've been to PT before, I think they would get me back to a place where I could go back to work. And then they would tell me, your like pain is, you're gonna have intermittent pain and that's gonna just be a part of your life now. And it would just be a matter of time before I re-injured or I injured worse. And like you have told me, like, no, this is not normal. We're gonna get you back there. You're 25. We're not doing this.
Exactly. So many more years to go.
Yeah, no. I need to be playing tennis when I'm 80.
Yeah,
I need
that's
to be,
what I want.
I want to be one of those old people that gets up at 6 a.m. and goes to the club and like plays tennis and then like sips coffee and you all sit in the tennis club lobby for like 3 hours after you play tennis and they just all sit around on a Saturday and they just chat, because that's what retirement is. That's what I want to do.
That's what it's gonna be. I'm so excited about this. It's so funny because yesterday someone asked, what does, I don't know if you know what my slogan is, but it's building lifelong athletes.
I didn't know that. That's me.
Yeah,
that's me.
Exactly. That's why I chose to bring you on, because I was like, she's the perfect person for what I want my brand to be. Like, I want that person to be running around after their grandchildren or whatever, whoever, like for 40, 50, 60 years, not getting to that point and being like, I can't move around because I didn't take care of my body the way that I needed to.
When I was younger, yeah.
So for you, like, you mentioned you have always been in some level of pain.
Yes.
Tell me now what you know about the experience of having chronic pain and what changed.
I think growing up, playing sports, and a lot of us can attest to this, there's always something always hurts. But as a kid, you recover so quickly that there was this mindset of like, suck it up, like you're fine. And it was fine. Like because you're a kid, you recovered and you just kept playing through the pain. And growing up, I had knee problems and always had like super tight hips that caused like hip cramping and tight IT bands, which then in college when I started running led to knee aches. But I had this motto, like after 3 miles, you can't feel your knees anymore. And so I would run and I would hit that 3 mile mark, like in pain until 3 miles, knowing that like after that my knees would stop hurting because they were so numb, I couldn't feel them. And I think that I'm not the only person that feels that way. I grew up with a lot of people around me that feel that way, and still to this day, a lot of people in my age, everybody always has chronic pain. Like at work, a lot of nurses' backs hurt. A lot of my tennis friends growing up, they got to college, they played tennis, all of them had shoulder or elbow injuries. They still do. A lot of them required surgery. They still have pain from surgery. They've never been able to recover fully. And because of that, it just becomes normal in your mind and your lifestyle to have a little bit of pain. And you also don't realize how bad it gets until you like look back one day and you're like, oh, I'm not this is not normal. Something about this is not normal. Because you wake up with a little bit of pain and you just make like a tiny lifestyle change. Let's say you like have to find a new sleeping position because your back hurts, or you are like, well, I have to skip my workout today because my knee hurts a lot from my workout yesterday, but that's okay. Like, I need a rest day anyway. I'll just do my rest day today. Or you start to notice like you can't walk 6 miles but uphill, but that's okay because you can walk 6 miles flat. And so like all of a sudden, like, you're making all these tiny little lifestyle changes. Or at work, you try to hoist a kid up in bed and you have to every single time raise the bed so that it's up, which you should do so you prevent a back injury. But like, you have to do that because your back hurts, not because you're trying to be preventative. And so it's all of these like little things along the way that just add up. And you don't realize like until you look back one day and you're like, oh, my life has completely changed because of pain. And I have made so many life changes as a result of a lot of little pain that adds up now to like bad chronic pain that I should not have to live with.
Yeah. That's deep. It really deep.
I think it's like the norm.
Yeah.
And I don't think people realize, like myself included, that it's not normal and you don't have to.
Yeah. Well, what's one thing you would take away? Like one thing you would give to like listeners, how to move going forward? Now that you know this is something you don't have to live with.
Recovery. Also, if you're gonna prioritize it, you have to prioritize it. Like, I think over the last 6 months, like I've really thought about like what has been important to me, and focusing and putting like time, energy, financials, the whole gamut. You have to put all of those 3 things into your priority. You can't try to do your time one place, finances another, and energy another. Like, in order to like fully feel aligned in life, and if you are truly going to commit to like having pain, being pain-free, focusing on recovery, wanting to play tennis when you're 60 or whatever sport you want to play, like you have to put all 3 of those things into one place. And I think I really realized over the last 6 months how important and how much of a priority that truly is to me, more so than other things in my life.
How long did it take you to come to that?
25 years. I think, yeah, truly, like, yeah, since college is something that I've like started like in the back of my head. I'm like, I should maybe start dabbling in some yoga, or I should like maybe stretch more. And like those pieces of recovery we're starting to try to like shine through. And it wasn't until like truly an injury put me on my butt and said, be still, that it really clicked for me.
Same.
And unfortunately, I think for a lot of people it's an injury that does it.
It does.
It is.
I was the same.
I know you were, yeah. But that's okay because you have this amazing career as a result of it, which you never would have had.
That is absolutely correct.
You're changing lives.
I probably wouldn't have maybe I would have, but I would say like my injuries have been some of the best things that happened to me. And I've been able to meet like great people along the way, including yourself, that I don't think I've had.
That's why this is fun, because we've like become friends through it, and like genuinely like I care about your life as a whole, and I feel that same like feeling being reciprocated, and we've like truly gotten to know each other. Like, it's not just I'm in here like doing PT. Like, I look forward to coming to talk to you and like see how your week was, and that's what's special.
I love that.
Because you don't always get that with your PT. And if you're gonna be, and I'm in here like twice a week for the last 4 months, like it's
Yeah, we become
You
real
got
close.
it. You got to become friends. You have to. You have to like your PT.
Yeah. Because, I mean, it's a relationship that you're building. And
It's a very trusting relationship.
correct.
You're like trusting me that I'm going to hold up my end of the bargain of committing to rehabbing, just like I'm trusting you that you have the knowledge in order to get me to where I want to be. And you're listening.
That was awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for changing my life.
I need a hug. I give her.
I
didn't know.
appreciate you.
I did not know a lot of those things. That was dope. 'Cause
For all the things that I tell you,
yeah. Why you were holding back? But it's cool.
am I done?
You are done.
You started tearing up.